Hello, so realizing my Gundam Ring retrospective, I didn't explain the premise very well. Well, some history too. In 1995, Gundam Wing came out, and this was the second attempt at a non universal century Gundam. Despite picking up fans in recent years, G Gundam was just way too different for some people, so we got something new while being more in line with traditional Gundam. The year is 1995, and the year in universe is after Colony 195. The Earth is ruled by a government of the Rockefeller Foundation, a military force of Oz, and there's even a special force within Oz called the Specials. The colonies initially just wanted peace, and they had a pro-peace leader named Hiro Yui who was assassinated. This is years later, and people in the colonies have made 5 different Gundams and sent 5 pilots to Earth with the mission to take down Oz and Rockefeller. So that's your basic setup and premise for Gundam Wing. I hope you enjoy the retrospective. Okay, welcome to a Gundam Wing retrospective for the 30th anniversary of Gundam Wing. Meant to do this earlier, a little late to the draw, but here I am. Gundam Wing came out 30 years ago and consists of 49 episodes, with 2 being clip show episodes. And the first 5 episodes are the Shooting Star She Saw, the Gundam Death Scythe, 5 Gundams confirmed, the Victoria Nightmare, and Relina's Secret. The first episode is, if I'm being honest, not good. It's kind of dull. It's the beginning of Operation Meteor, where the Gundams are sent to Earth. We're introduced very quickly to this series' resident Char clone and the best Char clone, Zex Marquise. He gets into an occasion with what he thinks is a craft at first that transforms into the Wing Gundam, and after a quick tussle, both his suit and the Gundam sink to the ocean. While this is going on, the most infuriating character in the series, Relina Peacecraft, is returning to Earth with her father. On Earth, she has an encounter with the Gundam pilot who would later threaten to kill her, and she would stupidly develop a fascination with. I mean, there's a scene in these early episodes where she gives him an invitation to a party. He rips it and says, "I'm going to kill you." And then late at the end of another episode, she's standing at the beach. "Hero, I'm right here. Come and kill me." I love this series, but I don't like Relina. And I'm not a big fan of the first couple episodes. They're kind of dull to get through. It gets better. They do pick up as it goes on, but these first 5 aren't the best. And at the end of the first episode, we see there are 4 other Gundams. The Gundam Death Scythe. We've seen the Gundam Wing pirated by, the Gundam Wing pirated by Hiro Yui. The Gundam Death Scythe piloted by Duo Maxwell. The Gundam Heavy Arms piloted by Troa Barton, for the record. The Gundam Sandrock piloted by Katra, and the Gundam Shenlong piloted by Wu Fei. The next episode, over the next few episodes, we do get to see more of the internals of Oz, and it's this kind of stuffy, bureaucratic, aristocratic government that's oppressing everything, even the colonies. The next episode is Gundam Death Scythe, as it's titled, so it does deal with Duo and Hero trying to destroy his Gundam, which he can't reach. Eventually, this episode, like, it comes to a head when Duo finds the Gundam and decides to retrieve it while Hero's trying to destroy it. He gets into a tussle and shoots Hero a few times and is just trying to get him to stand down. Then Relina, for whatever stupid reason, stands between Duo and the guy who's threatening to kill her. Again, not a very good episode, better than the first episode, but I can care less for at least the first 3 episodes. This series is off to a rocky start to begin with, but it does go on to greatness, at least in my opinion. Then we get 5 Gundams confirmed, which does set up some more of the characters, and Zex is introduced to an old mobile suit they found. Now, this isn't the one he based... This is the Tall Geese 2, but he finds the incomplete Tall Geese 1, which is essentially the same suit. It was the first mobile suit ever designed, but it was deemed to be too big and too powerful. But an Oz engineer surmises it should allow Zex to fight on par with the Gundams, which is something he's looking for, because despite his formidable skill as a pilot, nothing he has can compete with the Gundams. We also, I believe in this episode, at the end, we have the Gundam Sandrock and the Gundam Heavy Arms meet, and Catra piloting the Sandrock opens up the cockpit, essentially surrendering to the Heavy Arms, realizing, wait, this is a Gundam too. We must be on the same side. Duo also goes on a rescue mission for Hero Yui, which is interesting to say the least, because Hero jumps out and he's determined not to pull his parachute until Relina calls out to him. Eventually the rescue goes off. Our 4th episode, the Victoria Nightmare, introduces a new character, Lucrezia Noin, who has a connection and is in love with Zex Marquise, and she's training pilots to go into space. And we do see a nice philosophy where she does have a love for her soldiers and she doesn't want them in combat, and Zex just accepts the inevitability that soldiers do die in combat, and there's some good discussions between them. Tragically for her soldiers, their barracks blow up because of Wu Fei, which leads to a chase, him realizing she's a woman, and a quick encounter with the Gundam where he doesn't kill her because he doesn't kill women. Wu Fei, not the most likable character, although he does have a pretty cool Gundam. And the final episode, Relina's Secret, we find out that her father's a politician and he's opposing a lot of what Roma Feller is doing, to the point where they mark him for assassination. And Lady Un plants an explosive, which his daughter gives back to her, only for her to throw it through a window. And now she's a target. And we find out that Relina is adopted. She is the daughter and heir to a fallen kingdom called the Sank Kingdom, which was a kingdom that practiced total pacifism, which I do find a very foolish and naive ideology. And, you know, the episode ends with a encounter between Hero and Duo, and we kind of set the parameters with the interactions for the Gundam pilots. Three of them at least are happy to work together with the others anytime. Hero will work with other Gundam pilots, but it's more reluctant, and Wu Fei doesn't get to interact with any Gundam pilots, I feel, for a purpose choice to show that he is more of the loner, and if he could help it, he would just rather go it alone. I promise I'm going to be a lot more complimentary to this series as it goes on, but this is part 1 of my Gundam Wing retrospective, and I have 9 more parts to get through. So let's keep up with this. Gundam Wing retrospective part 1 is over, and I will see you guys for part 2. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Over and out.